Alright, hey everybody, it's Coevil here. We're just going to do some chill video review of my 60Gs. I have 10 of them, starting with the 696 411 going up, and we'll see how many we can get through today. Some of these I played on my stream yesterday, many of them, and actually I think all of them I've played on my stream, so I didn't go back any further than that. And then we'll see after that kind of what the time is like. And yeah, I got NBA Conference Finals Game 7 tonight as well. If anyone's an NBA fan, we can chat a bit about that matchup. Pulling for the Spurs, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, as I said, I've got 10 games here, and just gonna pull up the chat on my phone real quick as well before we get started, and then we'll get into it. Okay. All right. Sweet. So yeah, today we're gonna do some VOD review, and I'll get started. So I played some games against Block 92 Spinna, Grey Hat, Hastur, and then also 3-plate bench. And went 4 and 6, kind of new to streaming and also gaming at the same time. So I think went for a bit too many risks, which is also something that I do off stream as well. Just something to kind of learn to just chill out and not go for the send it epic play every single time that I'm, you know, seeing a line or a chance. So we'll start with this game, and I don't know exactly which book I have run for every one of these, just based on I'm just going off memory, but I'll let you know as we play as well. So yeah, 2 generic books. Block 92, I know that he has rush, so just got to be aware of that. Here I wanted the shock shield on his head in a place where he was not able to flash me. I think this is okay. There might be a small chance that he could BFTP me here, and then knock me kind of this way, and then reverse flash off. So yeah, maybe there's a better way to do that. Potentially also other candidate moves, Flight Prot at the top of the border. I feel like that would be pretty decent, because then if he muds in response, I can BFTP out. If he Frost Arrows, obviously that sucks, but he's down a Frost Arrow, and then I just, you know, respond by treeing him, and the game goes on. So potentially already with this first move, some slight risk. He chooses not to BFTP me, and he ends up with Arcane Bomb, and actually it just, yeah. So that risk that I was talking about turns out to bite me in the ass there, unfortunately. And so just, you know, turn 1, you can see how slight positioning and just kind of rushing it a bit. Or, you know, maybe I was just getting a little bit anxious, running low on time, trying to figure out the positioning. And, like, I see the flash. I see the Arcane Flash or Arcane Bomb angle, but I still do the move, even though I see it. So in this case, it's not that I don't see. You know, it's not that I'm not aware, that I'm, you know, newer to the game or maybe like have a blind spot. I see it, but I still do the suboptimal move. Now maybe that's because in the moment I can't really come up with an alternate quickly enough. And so that probably makes some sense, that I can't really come up with an alternate fast enough. So that was weird. I paused that for so long, and then the Bloodbath was just stuck there. And then the Swarm here too. I mean, I don't know whether he has Shock Shield or not, but I would think maybe Tree would be a little bit better there. And then the following turn, I can Flight Prot away. And he has Whisper Arrow, so maybe I'd go all the way to the side and Flight Prot while he's stuck in the tree. But the Swarm into the SS, he just trades that tempo, and now he's got an active SS up, so it's kind of like, ugh, you know. I don't know if this is going to be any good. If you're just tuning in, we're doing some VOD reviews. Say hi in the chat. Let me know how you're doing today. Also, if you're a sports fan, Let me know what you think of the NBA Finals or any other sports that you follow. But yeah, I've got 10 games. This is the first one. You just haven't missed much. But yeah, that's my idea of tempo here. It's like, okay, I summon the swarm pretty much right in his face, and it's easy. Just point and click, SS, and, you know, now I've got swarm on CD forever. I don't have Mud Ball in this book either, so already struggling here. Flight Prot now could be an option up at the top border. I think that's not too terrible, but maybe he uses Glide to mud me. Or it's turn 4 now, so he has a Whisper Arrow, because I went first. So since I went first, he gets all the CDs on the turn that it says in the description, turn 4 for Whisper Arrow. If he went first, he'd get them on the following turn, turn 5. So he does do the Glide Pebble, and I was afraid that he would do something similar here if I Flight Prodded. Just Glide and then Mud Ball. And I can BFTP out, but then I'm down Flight, down Prot, or I have 25 Prot, I guess, but still, you know, don't have that. And then I have only Tower to really do defense. Okay, no, I still have Tree. So, you know, Tree's definitely an option. Oh, I'm angling for a flash here. This is sick. This is really instructive. The way that I'm aiming this, some of you may have seen this live, but basically the premise is you launch the glided player up high enough, and then you kind of memorize the angle that they fall, and you try to visualize, okay, I'm going to launch them up, you know, at this point, and then they're going to fall, and then curve back around, hit the side and sink, or just curve all the way back around to the side of the map, right? So these are two things that I'm thinking about as I'm trying to set this up. But it's a difficult flash to set up. You can see it takes me some time to figure out exactly how to do it. This is somewhat risky. It's not guaranteed, but it just requires practice. So just going into Sandbox and kind of grinding away, testing the different angles, just like aiming any spell would, you know, take practice as well. So here I'm doing some setup, shuffling around a bit, trying to get this working. And I believe I do extend for this to launch him just a bit higher. And he's going to go all the way down and nearly sink. Almost got the sink. That would have been sick to get the sink. But unfortunately, I don't. And that means that he gets to keep his SS. If I got the sink as well, that's huge tempo. That's awesome. But he's actually able to teleport back up and deflight me with his active SS, which is very unfortunate. So here, this is a potential flash angle. No, I missed it. Okay, so this is what I'm saying about I gotta learn to not rush, you know, just kind of chill, because I think this angle's possible, right? I just have to not, you know, take my time, like I did that first one, be patient. So I think from here it is possible. And let me just get the book that I had for this game, which I believe was this Boar Spear, Shock Bomb Boar. Yeah. So we'll grab this and go into the replays. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just a little bit too hasty with this move here. So how can I get this right for future games? Let's see. So BFTP to clear that piece of land. Okay, that's not the best BFTP. I gotta redo that. Probably don't want to extend it. So I'm trying to set this up. Clear this land so it makes the flash easier. Right there at the tip of the tree. And then I'm thinking, you know, I know these different angles. It's just a very high angle. So what you do that is you're going to go further to the left to get a higher angle. 1, 2, 3 probably. Maybe even 4 for this one. But I'm not 100% sure. We could try 3. It doesn't quite work. So then, yeah, this was a difficult flash. Probably not the most the easiest one to go for, but we'll see what we can do here. Okay. I don't think that BFTP really takes that much off of the tree, so that's probably the issue. 4 over. This is kind of the last angle that will still shoot the player to the left, to the direction that you're aiming to get them into the water. If you go past that, then they're going to start to be aimed to the right, to the opposite direction. So, but let's see with the positioning of block here, 2, 3, 4. That one would have worked. Okay. So I just got to have confidence in that flash angle, that really sharp one. Because, yeah, that would be really good to have in the arsenal, just to be able to be comfortable using that flash angle. But, yeah. That's probably my takeaway from this game. Don't fail that flash. And also just be more mindful of positioning. Oh, and I tried again with the flash. Or did I? No. Let's see. So he... Okay, so this is the flash that I missed. And then what does he do here? Oh, and he just wins the game off this, yeah. And then I've got 1 health left. And I was going for... What, another flash here? I'm not sure exactly if there's an angle at all. So... I'm trying for it. If I had like Arcane Bomb, it would work. But I don't know if this would. Oh, I do have Arcane Bomb. Okay, so definitely... Oh, no. Okay, so the arrows didn't go into him. That was the unfortunate thing there. But, yeah. No comment on that one. So I guess I didn't have the Shock Bomb board book, but yeah, I need to be able to... the lessons I took away from this game is, you know, be really careful with my positioning, and yeah, don't be afraid to flight prot turn 1 up at the border can be a good move, and also learn that, you know, 4th extend angle where it really launches the player a very steep, you know, high angle. That can be a good one to take advantage of. So, and then of course at this point I'm just lost. So I unfortunately fell to him. He tried to go for the BFTP, and then I think, yeah, I just resigned because he's going to shock shield me. Put up the draw. Yeah, he just hits me with the SS and wins the game. So yeah, that'd be my takeaway for these two games. Or this first game. Let's see. Okay, this is a second one. Looks like I was able to get the victory here. We'll see if I make any adjustments to my approach. Am I going for a prod at the top? Okay, so I actually did learn that prod at the top is probably a good idea. As far as the positioning goes, I don't know if it's best to be closer to him or not. I'm unsure. Okay, and he shows me that actually the prot at the top is not great up against his blood bank. So that's unfortunate. And now I'm stunned off of the teleport in. But I get unstunned the following turn, so doesn't really matter that stun if you get sunk, because you use your turn to teleport in. And okay, I choose to use my tree early as well to trap him. And that's one weakness of his book, is that it's hard for him to get out of trees. Combined with SS, though, he does have a lot of ways that he can escape the tree, because he damages it all the way to 0 in pretty much one turn. So he goes for Elite BFTP to get out, and Floating Castle to free himself completely. That Ice Shield was nice to prevent him from BFTPing out, and also just get a free Swarm out. And free minions are going to be pretty much S tier. That's what I want to get rolling against Rush. And so now the question is, where do I place my Swarm? And then I'll just probably tower up, and I should be fine here. And this is kind of how I should play each game. Maybe if I know he has Bloodbath, not position at the top border, but instead just position, you know, kind of mid map or so, mid map ish. If you're just tuning in, we're just doing VOD reviews of my 60 Gs. I got about 10 of them. We'll see how many we can get through. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream, and check if you're subscribed. Would really appreciate it. About half of my viewers are subbed, so not getting detowered there is fantastic for me, even though I've only got 25 health on it, and I'm able to set up my own shock shield. But he does glide here, and he's actually able to deflight me without, to detower me without getting ticked by my shield. Thankfully, though, I got lucky there that my the arc bomb didn't sink me. Thank goodness, right? That was quite lucky. So yeah, it's been. I think. Is there anything else that I could have done there better to prevent? Like, let's say that arcane bomb worked. I don't know. I'll go back and kind of see. So I tick him with the swarm. Okay, the pebbles don't work. And then what do I do after that? I just shock shield. So maybe, I mean, we're at turn 6. Maybe I just bring a Pegasus out if I'm thinking that I might get sunk. I don't have an ice shield, so there's no way to really prevent the sink. But having a Pegasus at least threatens a double drain. So, you know, in the future. And is going to really help me with trapping. And it's kind of like a rusher's nightmare. Worst nightmare is that having a Pegasus, your opponent having a Pegasus out. But he thankfully fails this. And now I just need to take a breath and continue to do my best to stall. And also recognize that he's got Glide and Leap, and that's all of his tools. So this high map gen here is going to be very beneficial to me. Keeping that swarm alive is also necessary. I have some pretty cheeks micro, so to speak. Pretty ass movement there. Look at this. Look at this guy. Good lord. Oh, go over the swarm. Okay. Alright. So yeah, just going to tick him with the SS. I'd like to get all the way over, you know. But I don't have time. And so I end up basically sacking my swarm. So, okay, I do get over, but I do sack my swarm. So ideally, I'm a bit faster. I see this, you know, and I'm planning out in my head how I'm going to execute the micro. And I don't just, you know, end up with 0 seconds as I get to this right side here. Here I'm being a little bit faster with the micro on this turn. So I like this approach. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to tick him. I had this idea of maybe a SS tick puts him into a flashable spot. Doesn't quite do that though. But he is kind of trapped there. And to use a Whisper Arrow and still be on 185, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I'm looking to trap him, but how exactly? Here I got really nervous because look, I'm messing up my swarm jump. Once again, I'm running out of time, and then I jump down. Okay. I just need to chill. Like, calm myself down a bit. You know, keep things simple. Don't try to do any theatrics. Just bring the swarm down, tick him. Come down here this way, tick him with the SS. Bring the swarm back, jump up. Jump up here, go all the way to the side. Tree him again. Like, just keep it simple. Don't try any fancy ass movement or anything crazy, you know. Ticking that tree is a blunder because it's going to help him escape. Thought maybe I could get there to, you know, SS tick him, but alas, could not. So now it's a little bit tricky because I know he's going to escape the following turn. Have to be a bit careful. I don't know if I have my tower back, but tower would be a good option. Pegasus somewhere would be good. I just have to be mindful with where I summon it. And you can see I'm a little bit uncertain, a little indecisive on where to summon this peg. And even here, this is very risky. Like, look at how he can aim a Mega Boulder right here to just do a bunch of damage. So yeah, again, not ideal. Where could I summon it instead? probably like put myself here and then summon the peg here, kind of blocking any mega angle. He could maybe stuff it right here, but I keep my peg alive, and maybe he's vulnerable, you know, to a flash. So he does go for the mega, and guess what? Look at that. It does 80. So yeah, once again, positioning is failing me, and it's so important against rush. Here, I think this is a flash angle after I shock shielded. So I was continuing to look for those, and this should be a pretty easy one. But I do want to tick him with the swarm first. So yeah, definitely positioning is not ideal from me in these first two matches, even though in this one I end up eking out the victory. So where is he gonna teleport? Okay, we love to see that, but you also still have to be careful. He can BFDP out here. He can BFDP out at the top, or at the side here. So these two spots. So I still need to be careful. I'm lethal. You know, he's got the second Mega Boulder, so I just have to tower. I don't know yet at this point whether he has Deluge or not, so I just want to stay under some cover. And he does once again have Glide. Having this active swarm is very key as well. If I can get that off the rip, that's fantastic, because it's just passive 15 damage. Also a zoning tool, if you can keep the aura active and control your opponent's movement. So now he's actually lethal here due to a BFTP into a swarm tick and a SB. I just have to, of course, not miss the SB. So we'll see that lob recreated. If I miss this SB, I just lose. So a little bit of a, you know, ballsy thing. I don't want to stuff it, right? Because if I stuff it, I lose the game, or it's a draw. So gotta go for it, get the dub there. But yeah, a couple of positioning mistakes there. Allowing that Mega Boulder was rough, putting me in a, you know, more difficult spot. Kind of I was a lot weaker than I should have been, ending this game at 76 health. But overall, solid game. Good adjustments compared to that first one, where I just kind of went for way too many risky plays. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Same book on his end. I'm not sure about mine. I think I maybe mixed things up. I'm not 100% certain though. Oh, okay, I did. Oh, was this where I brought the seasons mix? I think potentially that might be the case. Oh no. Did I counter rush him here? I think this looks like a maybe counter rush. So yeah, Pebble off the rip is indicative of potentially rush. And yeah, just spamming Mud Ball to take out his SS. I wouldn't have done anything different, I think, so far. Maybe gone a little bit further away, anticipating the BFDP leap and throwing the Mud Ball from a distance. But even then, it's still kind of tricky. You could miss it, so I think that's alright to be in this situation. I am a bit low though, so I have to be aware of that. Just run away and tower. He's used his leap and a BFTP, now 2 BFTPs. So using up his non-turn ending spells, which is awesome. If you're just tuning in, I'm doing some VOD reviews. Please take a moment to drop a like on the stream. And thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Really appreciate the support. And double check that you're subbed as well. Trying to get to 1K subs. It's a slow grind, but we'll get there. Yeah, I do have rush for sure here. Deluge, and then mushrooms to counteract his DPS. So that was a great addition. I just thought, okay, maybe I can counter his rush with my own rush. And also, I get my nice BFTP leap out of there. If you guys didn't know, you can BFTP, and then if you have like a pretty, you know, about this amount of terrain in between, even maybe a little bit more, you can extend your leap, which is this angle. You're gonna do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This angle is the kind of guaranteed one in those situations where you're trying to escape out of the bottom of a shield. So that's how that works, just so you are aware. Okay, let's move to the following turn. And, oh, I got a nice flash off. It's worth it to replay that one. I think it's nice to see that angle back again. Kind of getting some good positioning, trying to, you know, position myself well there. Again, extended that. Probably a little bit lower than horizontal. And ended up getting the flash sink there, which was awesome. Here, I think I can just lob a Mega Boulder. And that would be a good play. And, okay, I'm going to go on his head and BFTP, and then no. This is what I'm talking about, like, you know, complicating the situation. I thought, oh, maybe if I BFTP, I can, you know, make it more likely that the first hit of the Mega will hit him. If I aim perfectly, you know, but that's not really that necessary. He's already low. So even if I hit him with only 3 of the little, you know, hits of the Mega, not 4, I should be fine. I don't need to go for any risk and forget that, you know, my glide isn't canceled. Maybe I could hold spacebar and do that BFTP. I wonder if that works. I want to try it and see. But I don't have glide in this book. I'll just get glide real quick. Just because, yeah. Then that BFTP is like not even a risk at all, right? So that was one thing that I was unsure about is, you know, can I prevent this sink entirely? And okay, so go up here. Okay, so if I hold spacebar, am I not going all the way down? Oh, I still am. Okay, so BFTP, it doesn't matter if you hold your spacebar. If you knock yourself off with BFTP, you can hold spacebar and it'll still float you all the way down. Even though typically, as I hold spacebar here, it cancels the glide, right? And I go into the water. So that was unfortunate. Just kind of taking a completely unnecessary risk in that situation. And then I end up on the side having to summon a swarm. And he Whisper Arrows me. And then he actually Whisper Arrows the swarm, and then I teleport up. Just as if I was sank, basically. To add insult to injury, that BFTP actually helps him get out. So, once again, not the best decision in my book here. Poor choice by me. But we learned from it. And of course now he ends up blundering with the blood bank, and I'm able to get the victory. So, just again, taking the lesson away to just be a little bit more patient with myself and look at the risky plays, but evaluate it. Don't be like, oh, there's a sick flash here, have to go for it, send it for the stream. You know, I was saying that in the past. So, maybe that's not the best. Sending it is great, you know, but evaluate that a little bit more and don't get too excited. Or anxious about, oh, I should try this. It's not going to really help that much. Okay, here we are in a 4th game. Very flat map gen, really favors him, to be honest. If you guys didn't know, this crystal, it has the winner of a costume contest. I forget which one it was. Maybe the Halloween one or another one, but this is Eon. His costume is etched into a crystal, and it's a random chance to get that on a map. Any map as well, not just Grassy. So here, this is looking a bit tough. I flashed out just so that I could have a, you know, avenue to escape there. And I am going to be stunned, so I just have to spam the mud balls. And okay, he's able to escape. So I think this is a decent beginning. Not sure if I would have changed anything. And okay, I'm going to Sanctuary out here. I also have mushrooms. And I think I'm a bit of a slow thinker, so this is something to keep in mind. I got to start my turn like immediately and think while I'm moving. I can't just sit there if I need to do a heavy micro turn. And just look at this. I'm trying to get up. I trap myself. It's taking me ages to escape. Like, damn. I finally get it, maybe? So that's unfortunate. Although that tower positioning, not the worst. And I'm still trying to get over. Okay, finally. But now I don't have much time left. What do I do here? Yeah, okay. So, blunder number 1. Like, just not calming down and, you know, like, maybe just taking a few seconds to calculate, okay, where do I need to position for this jump? It just took me way too long to get out. And then I have Harmony in this book, but I forgot to use it. And it would really cut my damage down when he's going to come over here and just slap me with a huge Mega Boulder to win the game. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you haven't said hi in the chat yet, please drop a comment, even if just to say hi. We're just going through some VOD reviews, some 60Gs over the past few days. And I didn't see this angle at the time for him to get that Mega off, but yeah. He's able to get that off, and now I'm just like completely lost. Let's see, we've got Marcus in the chat. Hi, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you in one of these streams. Not sure if you've tuned in just yet. So yeah, this is just completely lost. I would have loved to get Harmony off. And then run away and honestly, maybe all the way to the side would be great. So, yo, what's up, Kane? I just find 60G too slow and boring now. I see VA teleporting to the sides every single game, stalling for 2 hours. Yeah, there are 60Gs that can go that way. And also I think you can run books that are pretty aggressive, and so you don't have to cater to that stalling playstyle. Now, if you want to potentially beat a lot of the veterans who are 2k or higher, then you might need to take something that's a little bit more balanced. But you can definitely take a little bit more of an aggro mix, and I can show you a couple examples of those too. Can't you gargoyle swipe to sync? Is that what you were trying to say here? Let's see. Have a little icon. Oh, gargoyle swipe to right map here. Oh, that would be quite interesting. I actually didn't see that one, Jefferson. Thanks for the suggestion. I'll try it out, actually. I'll take control and just see what I can do here. That does look possible, so that's a good point. But yeah, Coffee, I understand the disdain for that type of playstyle, but I don't think it necessarily, you know, would mean that you have to quit 60G altogether. Okay, so that would actually work, and potentially, if I position myself a little bit over to the, actually probably to the right here, he can't get back up. He can't Whisper Arrow me from here. So great, great catch, Jefferson there. Nice. Even with aggro, it's just spam Peggy, tree, swarm, teleport, repeat, repeat, until enemy is out of resources with a normal book. Yeah, I can see what you mean. So when you're using an aggro book, you still have to face, you know, Pegasus and, you know, Swarm and Forest Seed. So yeah, you are going to encounter those sorts of cycles. But you can have, there are some books, maybe they're not quite as balanced, but or like overall, you know, consistent, but that there are some books that don't have tree or peg, you know, or, you know, drain bolt, swarm, etc. Swarm is probably the most important spell, one of the most important spells, maybe the most important in 60s. But something like a blood mix might have the luxury of not having to include swarm. So yeah, I do get what you mean though, Coffee. It's very, it can be very boring and kind of slow, like methodical type of playstyle. Okay, so basically, yeah, I don't know what I'd end up doing here, but I end up dying the following turn, so it's unfortunate. Yeah, you still caught that good move though. I just tested it, and yeah, he goes to the side, as I think you probably saw. So yeah, nice catch there. This Mega actually kills, hits me with her too, and it's unfortunate. So yeah, once again, pretty irritating to fall in that way and just basically forget to cast my Harmony, which was tragic. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we have a game versus Gray Hat. What settings do you prefer, Coffee, instead of 60s? You more of a low times guy, just maybe like 30s instead of 60s? Do you like a certain map? Do you like rushed playstyle or just don't generally like the meta with pegged, swarm, DK? Just want to see more variety in spells. Okay, so drone out here is good. And then mud ball in response is also good. And I think towering does two things here. Freeze the drone and also freeze me. I could have actually probably escaped too, so doesn't necessarily free me from being trapped necessarily, but you know, still pretty solid here. That shock bomb was nice by him. Given that shock bomb, I'm wondering, was there a better move that I could have done? Don't have tree up yet at that turn when I towered. So, a little unsure exactly, you know, what might be best there. And once again, the flash, it doesn't work. I just got to take my time here. I didn't take enough time to try to get this off, and it was really unfortunate. So, yeah. So he goes for the shock bomb play. And then, okay, let's see. Is this possible? It must be. I just needed to aim it a little bit over this way. If it's a little bit too aligned with, you know, the center of his player, he's just going to fly up way too high there. I need him to go just a touch, you know, over to the left and launch in an arc like that. But I need to make sure he doesn't hit the ice shield, so I don't know how this would go. It's a tricky one. Does that work? What? See, that was like my first attempt. Of course, it took me a lot of time there, but, you know, you can't tell me I'm not going to get that in 60 seconds. I just got unlucky that didn't work, and then it just screwed me for the whole game. I lost in like 9 turns. So that was just kind of tragic of a flash. So taking a little bit more time potentially on those flashes is also important for me. And that flash is just bad too. So because I flashed and I missed, then I don't have my tower to get out because he hit it with a shock bomb. So that missed flash just screwed me entirely. It was unfortunate. Yeah, so I just have to play this trading game of Mega to Mega. And it's decent, but he is able to mud me, and I'm still down a tower. So that was the main blunder, the flash off. I think once I flash off there, I'm in a good spot. It's about even, you know? So I bring the Garg out, and he can just shock bomb this again, I think. But I don't know what he chooses to do instead. That'd be a good play, though. He just positions here, right? And then lobs the shock bomb. And okay, he brings out Pegasus. So that's good too, because I can't get out with the second BFTP, which I kind of knew, but I had to try regardless. So again, just having to burn a bunch of resources, use the tower. You know, so maybe using the tower to free the drone wasn't great. And then my bones are just terrible here. Maybe going from the other direction was better. Not sure. But yeah, this is unfortunate. I see the Mega angle, but it's such a risky Mega. Yeah. With the Garg out, you mean? Yeah, could have been possible, but pretty tricky because it has to expand in the right spot to work. So, yeah. I don't think he's going to go for something that's that risky. I would, and that's probably why I lose these games. Just got to know when to take more time and when to think while I'm doing something, you know. Also think on my opponent's time, which I try to do. And here I set him up for another double mega, or double hit with the shock bomb. Actually a triple. He kills all 3 of my minions. Just massive tempo here. So hard to say what I would do in this situation to stay in the game. It might be something like just treeing, you know, like maybe treeing this off and trying to stall, keeping my Garg alive. But, you know, it's really that initial flash that I messed up, which I easily got on the first try on replay, that just screwed me. And here, once again, I don't kind of want to bother with tower because I know that he'll just probably shock bomb it with another ice shield. And I think I just throw in the towel here, to be honest. Oh, I try to go for the mud, but he's actually able to escape, which is another thing that I knew. I knew that it was able to be, that he's able to be freed there, but just couldn't quite figure out what my other possible moves were to stay in the game. So unfortunate, gotta hit my flashes. That's the takeaway from this one. Okay, and then we rematched. Towering out would maybe have been better. Yeah, instead of totem. Definitely a possibility there. Okay, I've got seasons now. I think I had a pretty good start to this game. We'll see though. Mac Air, okay. Trapping him on the side generally is good. But okay, easy for him to escape that, so maybe treeing here instead? But does he still flash that open? He probably would. So, not 100% sure. I've got seasons, so, you know, I wanted to limit his mobility of his Mac Air. So probably treeing this side is fine. And then if he flashes out this way, then maybe I can just summon a minion, force him to come out and kill it, and go from there. But with this Acorn summon, it's just getting him an easy swarm. And yeah, not ideal for me. And now I just go for a lob. I'm a bit tilted. But I actually hit his... Okay, I hit his tower. But he's up a swarm now. See, now that's tough. So I really needed to... And I had this book, by the way, just so you guys know. Let's see here. Okay. So looking at this book, early game... Yeah, what do I have? Maybe Do would have been fine to limit his movement over there. Yeah, I kind of like Do. I think that would have been a decent play. Let's get back in and we can see what the options would have been. So, yep. And then, okay, so he towers. And what could I do here? Monarch, he does have the Ice Shield SB potential to kill both. Swarm, also Ice Shield SB potential. Pretty much anywhere I summon it. Maybe it's tricky though if I'm way at the top. Might be okay. Same thing with Monarch, just go way up top here. Was there a tree that works better? Oh, maybe this tree. Okay. Because this tree, I feel like he might still be... actually, no, this tree might have worked fine too. I was just worried about him escaping with the flash in one turn. Flashing out here-ish, right? But if I maybe position it this way, that'll take 2 flashes to get out. So... yeah, maybe that would have been fine. And then I'll have Pegasus up by the time, 2 turns pass if he chooses to take 2 turns to flash out. So yeah, maybe here, and then it's like, okay, if he wants to try and flash, then... Okay, it does drop. Alright. So it only still takes 1 turn. But, yeah. I wonder if there's a positioning for this Monarch. Like, can I put it somewhere where it's not Ice Shield SBable? You know, just kind of an unfortunate sort of book matchup as well. Because not only can he Ice Shield SB, but he can probably stay in his Mac Air. Or, you know what? Maybe I'm overthinking it. If you try to Mac Air, Ice Shield in a Mac Air, and then throw an SB in the same shield, I think that would probably work, actually, yeah. So I'm not overthinking this necessarily. Could bounce up, and maybe that hits him. So maybe there's some risk there. But summoning a minion, probably fine. It's just difficult. Like, I don't have much to deal with Mac Air, to be honest. Unless he gives me a lob, you know, angle. So, that's kind of my early game analysis here. But the tree's not, you know, game losing or anything. That acorn, though, is not ideal. I feel like I should have positioned it in a way that forces him to swarm where I can just kill it with my own spear. So, you know, acorn here, and then if he swarms to kill it, I just spear, right? So, that would be nice. But now, I have to go for this epic spear lob, which does hit, but, you know, he's up a swarm, and a player of his caliber up a swarm, nah, you're cooked. Nice lob, though. I was hit, I have to say, in the last couple streams, or maybe it was just this last one, I was hitting every lob. Every single lob. Okay, I did miss a few flashes, but like, and I do remember a shock bomb miss, but I was going, you know, attempting a lot of lobs and making a lot of them. I also had a border flash, which I think is in one of these at some point, which was sick. I think you need to be more aggressive. Yeah, it's interesting because if you look at this book is really not that. It's really not aggro. So it's very much, you gotta get, especially with Swarm and Bees, I really need to get a minion advantage and just kind of not be out of my tower, you know, engaging with him. So I do see what you're saying, but I think with this particular book, it wouldn't really work out too well for me. But in what sense, though, do you mean a more aggressive? I'd be interested to hear. Like, what specifically do you think? Or did you just kind of generally, you know, you were thinking, oh, maybe it would be helpful to be more offensive, more aggro. Okay, so we trade Pegasus here. And he is still up that swarm, which is just probably going to end up, in the long run, losing me the game. So he's going to come up and tick me. I won't go through the whole turn, and then he just gets an SS out. Okay, so Mac Air SS. Very interesting. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Just doing some 60G streaming. VOD review. Oh, this is just nuts. This, I mean... I mean, come on. I think maybe trying this flash from this side, I was thinking I could get back up. And then go back around. Get over here, BFTP that spot, go back around, and then flash him off. But this obviously fails. And I don't have a tower. Or I do actually do have a tower, but still. I'm in a subpar spot now. And then he gets his DK out. But he does offer me once again to flash here. And I think I get it off. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. We'll see. Come on. Okay, that was a nice play. But I'm not sure if it would have worked without the BFTP. But I do want to test it. I will here in a second. Perhaps swap Spear for Sand or something. 4 Seasons is just so meh that you need to stall for 6 turns. Yeah, so I see what you mean. The book itself is not that aggressive. Yeah, it's a very stally book. Pretty passive. So, or run SS like everyone else. Need a damaging move. Or damaging momentum. Yeah, for sure. I just have a mix of, you know, books that are a bit more DPS centered and some of these control heavy books. So yeah, this one's definitely not designed to be aggressive off the rip. But yeah, this is what I was curious about. This flash. Do you need to BFTP that little spot right there? Or can I get away with it? With a BFTP here. Let's see. Here. And then my extend. Looks possible to get away with it. Ah, no. Okay. So that wouldn't have been possible. So okay, if I'm not going for that, then... Okay, this is fine. And then I'm going to take control here. What should I have done? What should I do instead? Let's see. I do have tree up. Because it is turn 6 now. And I used it on... Actually, no, I'd have one turn on tree. So I don't have tree up yet. And... I mean, 4 Seasons is an option to get it rolling here. Maybe... He doesn't have flight, so he would need to... But it's an open map, so that doesn't matter, really. Yeah, what are candidate moves here? Okay, I've used Acorn. It doesn't show my cooldowns or anything, so everything's available. But let's see. He killed my Swarm. I used my Acorn. Maybe just a do would be fine, to be honest. Just go like this, you know? And then he has to tick it with the peg, and then the peg gets stunned, he gets stunned. So that just limits his movement. I think that's a much better play, rather than the super aggro failure that I did. Unfortunate, though. Was tree up? Yeah, I don't think it was. Just one turn left. Flash was good, probably. It got close, yeah. Just couldn't quite execute it. He got unfortunate timing there, positioning there with the DK. He wanted to just set it on the ground, but it auto mounts. If it's close enough to the bottom of the peg, it auto mounts. Nonetheless, this is a good flash. So, I'm happy with that. But now I'm just like super behind. Still down 3 minions. He's got a DK out. What can I do? That DK could have been flashed maybe. Oh yeah, someone mentioned this on stream. Or actually, I don't remember if I was streaming these matches. Someone mentioned this though to me. I want to try it. I wasn't sure, I wasn't confident in it. But... Okay. Alright. I guess not. That reminds me, there's a little bit of a bug where if you're mounted on a baby dragon, your player just kind of gets stuck. They just get stuck on like a pixel somewhere. You see how the DK is not like fully dismounted? It's like halfway dismounted. Just kind of gets stuck there. I don't know if that's a bug or what it is. Or maybe there's not enough velocity, since the DK is heavy, to jump from the peg. But like, of course, if I were to try it with increase, for example, he would be able to flash me off my peg. Like this. See that? And there was almost even kind of like a frame delay when I left my peg there too. So maybe just a little bit of interesting coding. Oh yeah, you do know Fantonic. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, he arcane bombed the baby dragon, mounted somewhat on his opponent, and his opponent didn't move at all. It just kind of stuck there like glue. So yeah, not ideal. That DK wouldn't be flashable. But that was the losing move. Actually, I mean, arguably this sort of side shenanigans, the acorn positioning was the losing move. Getting that free swarm. Everything allowing the free swarm was pretty gnarly, unfortunately. And I just have to go for the DK trap, and then he's able to get it out the following turn. And I basically just end up with the same problem, right? Yep. DK trap. This was just a concession. A white flag. Because I know, once again, this is something that I'm working on too. I see the move. I see the losing move. And I go for it anyway. Like, I see the fact that the DK can get up here and just kill me. Which I'll show, actually, just right now. You just do this. I see this, but I still go for it. So that's something to learn. Is to try to think outside the box, or, you know, rule out that play. GG. Rule out that play, right? And he even doesn't go for this. He is too scared. He takes a different approach, but still is able to get the victory. So 2 games against Gray Hat. And then this game against Hastur. This also was tragic and unfortunate. This is my first ever game on stream. Got a bit nervous. I really made a huge blunder, which you'll see. So. Oh, first of all, I turn 1 missed this flash. I really just need to assess, is this going to work or not? Like, you know, that seems pretty far, so that's a tough flash to make. I really should have just gone on his head and, you know, do I have the seasons book or not? I'm not sure. I think I had generic, but just gone on his head and, yeah. Have I watched Coevil's flash tutorial? I actually haven't, Fantonic. Could you, yeah, drop a link into the chat? I gotta check, make sure that I'm subbed to him. You guys should also check that you make sure that you're subbed to Coevil. I like his guides. So, yeah, this is just, again, how early am I blundering these games? Early, just kind of infuriating in a sense, but just take it as a learning experience. Recognize, okay, this isn't flashable, so I've got a lot of different moves I could do. You know, Shock Shield, Flight Prot at the border, turn 1. Zartak, hi. Thanks for tuning in. I just went over 4 of your games, our games. So, you know, if you, depending on what you're doing Sunday, you can, you know, rewind a little bit, the stream. But, okay, flight. Yeah, and so I just lose tempo here. We're on the side left. Okay, Monarch comes out. And now I'm just down pretty much a tempo. And I do have the seasons book, it looks like. So he's going to be able to trap me. And then I do get a nice tree off. Monarch turn 1 isn't bad. Yeah, it's not. For sure. It's a good one. And I position this Monarch pretty well to get the tree off. And so I'm still, you know, in it. But I did see this too. I saw this, and I still went for it. So another move would have been to put the Monarch here. Right? And then when he BFTPs out of the Ice Shield, he's still trapped. Boom. Okay, this is the move. Because then he can't escape. He's not going to get extra damage on me. Like, I'm good. That's what I need to do. So. Anyway. Just clearing that up. If I see a play, I need to be able to not get too anxious about it. And not, like, lose my ability to react. Because I'm like, what do I do? And then I can't think very easily. And I allow this still. I was like, oh, he could Shock Bomb Sink me, but I'll still go for this. So now I'm down huge health, and he's got a Shock Shield up, and I just have to tower, Ice Shield tower to trap him. This somewhat helps me, saves me maybe, for a turn, and I get a tempo. I do hit myself, though. That's another thing. Just need to lob that a little bit more careful. I rushed it hard. Let's see if I can do it. Because it has good AoE, maybe I can just aim it a little bit harder. Something like this. Yeah, and that doesn't hit. See, there's the subtle things. And this means that I have 2 more turns of the SS tick before I'm detowered. And then, yeah. So, again, super subtle things. This is why 60G is kind of so difficult, complex at times. And also, potentially, if I aim it further away, I can spawn the bee where he can't swarm tick it. So maybe I even try to aim it like, you know, over here somewhere. Further away, because the AoE is pretty decent on the acorn. So anyway, he goes for the Pegasus here, and I'm thinking about an early DK, but I'm not 100% sure, not confident in it necessarily. I think I do end up going for it though. Yeah. So, just sit in the swarm and then go for the DK. But I actually mount it. So that's tragic. And he's actually going to be able to escape here as well. So, yeah, that was a tough turn. Going back to that turn instead of DK. What to do? My tree's on CD, so I got to keep that in mind. Let's see. How come not drain that swarm? Yeah, that could have been a play. I need to be able to limit his movement. That's the problem. So let's rewind a bit. Okay, so the problem is if I drain my swarm here, and this goes back to the acorn blunder, I had this mapped out. If I didn't hit myself with the acorn, yeah, I can drain my swarm. If I drain the swarm here, the SSD towers me, and he flashes me off the map. Okay, the flash that I had before didn't work here, so maybe he doesn't flash me, but he's still free. You know, he's free, he can escape, he can tree me, he has, you know, free reign across the map. So that is the only issue with the drain, is that my tower's 25 now. So it's not a heal because the swarm is an arcane minion, so you wouldn't heal off of the drain bolt. But yes, I would have loved to drain, I just didn't have quite enough tower HP for that to be worth at that point. Basically, I had blundered before that point. So here I'm thinking, what about options? Turn 7. Okay, my tree's on cooldown, so I don't have that. Tower also on cooldown. Honestly, maybe I just have to... he could still escape going up through... Oh, that's not his peg. Okay, maybe just running away and doing, I guess, would be fine here. Just something like this. And then do. Like right here. Because these are also zoning him in. The leaves. So maybe a do like there or so. Would have been good. So using do more is important. I think I missed out on opportunities. Let's see. I meant with the peg probably, or you could have stacked with the monarch. So SS doesn't deal full damage. Ah, I see. Yeah. Draining on this turn where I've got some ability to heal as well. Yeah, could have been an option. I'm just always also trying to, you know, limit his movement too. And not too confident that I had time here to drain. Maybe I do, but you're saying right here, right? Fantonic. Just get some extra health. And I think I wouldn't have the do up, so he'd be able to still kind of escape. Yeah, okay, I see. Makes sense. I'm just a little bit worried about... I guess maybe he just shock bombs me after that. So, yeah, if we kind of go back, replay it, look at your line. So... Okay, I need to take my turn as well. Okay, so he tries to get out here. And then here, yeah, jump over. And drain bolt. Maybe mount the peg. This way. Didn't you get SP'd anyway? It's only 50 damage, and you got a swarm kill. Yeah, shock bomb is actually 80 damage, so that'd be quite dangerous, which is why I'm a bit scared of it. But yeah, you're right. The swarm kill would be huge. Okay, kind of scuffed my movement here, but yeah, basically if I drain, I was worried about him escaping, and he also has, in fact, 105 damage that he's threatening. $30 heal from Peg, quick math. Well, I could have my Monarch here too and then get a 60 heal. So, let's just play out the line. So I kill the Swarm, I double drain. The problem is, I think where I'm standing now, I'm obviously in a flashable spot. So then the question becomes, can I, you know, okay, his SS does expire. But then the question becomes, can I, you know, get away with the... Well, actually, no, the leaves are in the way here. So I'm still zoning him with those. Oh, okay. Move the Monarch to zone him out and then get the drain. Okay. Yeah. Rather than tick it with the Swarm, which I'm going to kill anyway, so I don't need to keep it there to tick. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sorry to take like 15 minutes to grasp what you're saying. But I do think that that would be a good line. And to honor that, I will test it for you. A little slow on the understanding, so my bad. You're saying... Okay, he's gonna peg. And then we'll do my turn. You are saying Monarch zone him, get on his peg, drain the Swarm. And then I have the leaves zoning him, and I have the... Well, actually, maybe they cancel. I don't know if they come back up. But something like this. And then I go over here. Oops. And then I go over here and drain. And get some health. Something like that. Do they come back alive or no? They don't. Okay. So the leaves aren't going to help me zone. Unless I can be a little bit more careful with the movement. But I think it's still a solid play, for sure. Yeah, that's definitely a good option. Missed out on that. But obviously the first turn flash was not good. Not ideal. He does go to the side, and... Oh, there's another blunder. Wow, it's Blunderpalooza here today. This is not good. It's taking forever on that turn 6 to resync the game. Kind of interesting. But what I was thinking here is just keep him... Actually, oh no, I saw even a better play. We don't talk about the ladder. Oh, you're right. Well, Fantonic, you might be surprised to see what I just noticed that I could have done is this. Look at this play. Goodbye. Flutter him off the map, right? Isn't that awesome? You just get the BFTP off the map, like a mobile BFTP. So I did not see that. I don't think people in chat actually saw it. So that would have been sick. And then I just win the game off the rip. So that's a benefit of having a first turn Monarch up, is that Flutter threaten off of the side telly, which he did not consider. But neither did I, and that just happens from inexperience with this book. But definitely a great learning experience. I'll keep that in mind to use the Flutter. There's only one use, of course. Or actually, no, it's a 5-turn cooldown, so that's pretty epic that it's off CD. And then, yeah, wherever he teleports in, I can just, you know, zone his minions. I'm up a good amount here. And I've got Ice Shield as well to trap the peg. I can kill the Swarm the following turn. So that would have been just epic to be able to win the game. But instead, my other option, of course, would be to just trap him down there. But of course, instead, I did what Fantonic said, which was, regrettably, screwing up this ladder play. And yeah, something about that turn 6 is resyncing for ages. I had to teleport back in on my Pegasus, and then he gets a free prot because I messed up the ladder. Brought my Monarch down, jumped, and then sunk myself. Tragic. And here, it's very tough. I do go for a nice play here, though. This is good movement. The Val, who is Hastur? Hastur is Cadius. I hope that he's okay with me mentioning it, at least on this stream. It's not like I'm exposing it to several different viewers. We got 9 people tuning in who might know it. So. This is a great play. That nice micro. Getting him down to 87. So. One thing I could have done there, maybe, is just moved a little bit more once I get the Ice Shield off, so that I'm not as easily flashable. That would have been definitely the play. But yeah, good to see you, Misspelled. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, this just lost me the game. My first game on stream. Rip in peace. BFTP SB. GG. So, unfortunate. But learned a lot in that game. Misspelled, I was just going through that, and I missed a Monarch Flutter Sync on the side. I'm not sure if you caught the stream early enough to see that, but that was just an automatic win to get the Flutter Sync off. When Hester went side, I just let him fly all the way back up. Of course, I had the Monarch ladder too, which I failed to flash him off. But I didn't need to go for that risk. I could have just saw that I had Flutter and knock him into the water. So, really quite tragic, if I were to say so myself. Let's keep going. We are playing Block once again. I've got my Four Seasons book. Okay, Monarch T1. Fantonic's favorite. You can call me Oa, but yes, that Monarch Flutter sync immediately. Sad face. Yes, yes, I'll call you Oa from now on. That's alright. You're gonna get up level up so fast reviewing your own games. Yeah, that's the idea. And also, get the added benefit of maybe just chilling with viewers and, you know, get some new people tuning into the streams. Maybe get some subs and just enjoy some time off that I have over the summer. Okay, so solid opening here. Mud's my Monarch. I tree him. He whispers out. I don't want him to escape this tree. So 35 health on the tree. It's good to hover over it so you can track. And yeah, reviewing your own games, that's something that not a lot of people do. And it's the best way to improve. But I finally found out how to get up there with the high jump to the mud. Nice. But it's not really done often because people just have time for the game. And why would you have time to do the game and also, you know, go in and grind, review all your games? That'd just be a huge time sink. But in this case, I can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Stream and also review my own games. Have a good time interacting with chat and all that good stuff. But yeah, definitely working out some Rust in 60G with these first 10 games. I think I went 4 and 6 in these first 10 that are on stream. But some of them were pretty solid for sure. And here now, this is just awesome for me. Got a swarm out, got a peg out, and he's trapped down there. I can just continue to zone him in with my larger minion, the Pegasus. Looking pretty good. Hope you're having a good day, Oa, and anyone else who's tuning in. Just been a pretty chill Sunday. Mentioned I'm going to watch the NBA Conference Finals, Game 7 tonight as well. It'll be a good matchup. OKC Thunder, San Antonio Spurs. The alien, Wembanyama, 7'5", lanky and tall like me, except I'm a foot shorter than he is. Okay, we're going to bring the swarm down, and I can actually use the swarm to zone, keep the active aura if I want. That might be an option. Just a safer option. Okay, I choose to tick him. Just bring the peg back. And yeah, seems pretty decent. Just summon another minion probably is a good plan, and then I'm up 4 minions to 0. Technically 3 because of the Monarch. And he misses the pebble on the peg. Okay, so able to get an undead peg. And then he burns the Whisper to kill it. And we don't have to review this whole game in full, but basically I get the acorn out. This is an instructive point. So I acorned, but I blocked my own swarm. Again, just inexperience with this book. Not knowing the flutter, blocking the acorn, the swarm with my acorn, just really made this game longer than it needed to be. And that just really scuffed my play here. Because this swarm is just huge. It's so important in 60s. So important. But I get my 4 seasons rolling. Get some extra damage off. Turn by turn. Looking pretty good here. I do fail this trap, I think. Ticking him with the bee. Don't really need to mess with it much more after the bee. Hovering the bee down here close to him. Yeah, there it is. No. So just complicating it too much. Tragic. And possibly setting him up for a shock bomb, but I know he's getting low on resources, so I don't mind any sort of double hit. I could have ran away though, further away, and towered. Definitely would have been a play. And now I think it's possible to BFTP through this tree, even though it's different. Looks a bit differently shaped than a typical forest seed. I'd love to, but I'm actually stunned, as you can see. So I have to wait a turn. He goes for this. Tries to get it through the shock bomb, the tree, through the tree. For any of you who were not tuned into my stream previously, this is how you do that. I'll just do it with Drain Bolt. So Alt, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's how you do that. But it's Alt, so you have to be very sensitive with how you throw it. You got to keep that in mind. So he blunders the shock bomb, which gives me a big advantage here. And I'm going to BFTP to get my swarm through, and it's pretty much game at this point. As you can see, he only lasts another turn. I tried to go for the stack, and then he resigns. But to go for this aura stack, you need to have the swarm pretty much basically a little bit lower, or like right about level with the space between him and the Monarch. But because of that pixel there, I'm just a little bit too high, and it won't stack. But I try for a while, and then fail. You can also have it slightly off center to try and stack. It doesn't have to be directly above his head. You can be a little bit on this closer to the side that you're going to tick with, if that makes sense. So if I'm ticking from the left, I'm going to have the monarch slightly off center left. But I failed it regardless, so no point in harping too heavy on this. But this is the basic idea. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out. So I was able to get that dub, which was pretty good one. And then we had 2 games with 3-plate bench, aka machine. These were sweet games, much longer and grindy games. In this match, I brought Boar, Shock Bomb, and it doesn't happen to do too well against Full Nature, which is what Machine brought. But I'm interested to see if there were any points where I could have done better. I think there are a few, from what I remember. So we'll see. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're just going through some 60G games. I'm playing 3-plate bench or machine. If you haven't dropped the like on the stream, please go ahead and do so. Appreciate y'all's support. This is like my, I don't know, 6th or 7th stream. Just got OBS, getting into streaming. It's been fun. So, okay, I'm able to BFTP the elf down and shock bomb both. That's pretty sweet. Awesome play there. And puts me in a pretty good spot. Here, though, it's unfortunate because in this book I don't have Pebble. And if I shock shield, he's going to just detower and sanctuary it off. So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do here. I do go for the spear, but I wonder if maybe treeing him is better. I'm not so sure. Okay, so he mac airs. And then I was wondering about tree. So, okay, it's turn 2. And then maybe I could just tree the top here. And then he has to detower if he wants to escape. And if he wants to get up, then he has to use a vine bridge or something. So he's maybe stuck down here. Let's try it for a little bit. I know he has bridge, but without bridge, I'm saying. Like, does he need to burn a bridge? It does appear that he might have to. Yeah. Unless, because he doesn't have BFTP, that's an important point in this book. So maybe he can escape out this way. No, it doesn't look that way. So, yeah. He would have to use a bridge, and then that means he's not using a bridge to trap me. He's using a bridge to travel. He loves to use his bridges to trap me, and in fact, he might just do this. He might just bridge me here, and then summon a man trap or something, another minion. But at least I've restricted the movement of his Mac Air, because this is his whole win con, is the Mac Air going through Wrath, and then laddering elves. Full Nat should only summon 1 elf. I am not 100% sure. How would I feel about that? Yeah. 1 elf does do 260 to my knowledge. So, yeah, that could be an option. But, I don't know. It might just kind of kill the book. Because that's the whole win con of the book is to, you know, summon the elves. And so if they're just easy to kill off summon like any other minion, then basically if Full Nat summons only 1 elf, it's basically equivalent to a boar. And, you know, it's pretty easy to deal with. But with the 2, you have a potential to kind of summon, you know, off center, as you can see Machine do. Like he's got the summon circle where, you know, he's got 1 elf is going to drop on his head and then the other's going to drop down, so you can't double kill them. So I don't know. I like it for, I think I like it overall. I think the Mac Air going through Wrath is a bit just just because it gives him too much mobility and also just too much of an advantage over the opponent who can't do anything with the Wrath. But yeah, I just think it would probably kill the book too much. Having some full books that are, you know, viable and not just complete ass in a game is generally, I think, good for the game. I would have loved to save my spear, but I wasn't able to do that. And the reason I spear to kill the Mac Air is just because I want to limit his movement once again. He can just go wherever he wants with that Mac Air, which is unfortunate. And I just choose to tower out and summon a boar. The boar is not going to do a ton, but my idea was it's good against Sanctuary because it threatens a D-tower. So, you know, it wasn't going to do much that turn. It just digged to nowhere. But my idea is he has to deal with it, and he doesn't have anything that can kill it when I'm hugging. And just look at this shock bomb lob. Ah, damn it! It even bounces just like I had it there. Ugh. I gotta try this again to see how unlucky was I, or would I just have missed this twice? I'm not gonna bother moving the boar, but no, I don't miss it twice. Once again, and I don't care if it doesn't detower, you know, like eventually. And of course that just leaves him with 1, so he would have to detower anyway because I'm threatening BFTP another shock bomb off the map. But of course, in the game, while, you know, I'm under the pressure, I lob the shock bomb and it bounces out, which is just like a 1 in 10, probably for me. I bet I hit that 9 out of 10 times. I'm not going to bother testing it, but it's like, dang, just really unfortunate. So that makes me think, okay, shock bomb there was a fine play. I just got kind of shafted, to be honest. So now he's got elves out again, and I'm like, oh god, I have to stall once again. Or maybe go side, but I do see a play to BFTP. You always have to look for the BFTP into the shock bombs. Forcing me into another difficult lob. So obviously, and I think it does kill both, which is great. So obviously, yeah, hitting that first shock bomb was absolutely necessary and just kind of screwed me in this game. But now I've got his elves down, so still, you know, possible to maybe stay in the game here. Just flash this man trap off, which is nice. And we'll see what I can do. See, this is a difficult spot now here. He's got the Wrath out, and he can easily stall with the elves. Also, if he Mac Airs, he can move through it. Just super big advantage that he can get here. And of course he just spams the bridges. He's now got, I think, 1 left, or maybe that was his last one. Let's see, I see 3 of them, so yeah, 1 left. And now he's going to get the Mac Air up, and he's got free reign over the whole map, and I only have half of it. So, yeah, hitting that shock bomb was necessary. Flash this off once again, easy turn. So you can see he's making, you know, not optimal moves. It's just that, like, at this point, once he summons elves, I gotta, you know, go side. So, it's unfortunate. So, let's zoom. Let's, not zoom. Fast forward through. So now I'm just on the side forever. And okay, he mentioned in the game, when he set this Wrath up, I could actually win. Or no, maybe that was in the... Oh, that was in the other match. Okay. Yeah, so he sets this Wrath up. He digs with the Thorn Bombs. And eventually, he gets his elves down to me. Okay, let's see where the game turns at this point. But once I go side, you know, due to the elves, it's hard to win, obviously. And I'm just stuck down there. I have SS just in case he gets to me and, you know, then I can use it. But what's nice about this for him is that if I BFTP the Thorns, I can tick the man trap and I don't get to take any of the elves or, you know, move across the map because the man trap's blocking it. And here I teleported right because I thought that Mac-Air can't get down here. But Mac-Air can fit. Mac-Air can fit even with this tree here. I was like, what the hell? I got scammed. But I just didn't know that about this little shrub. And so at that point, I had lost. I know that it fits down this, but I thought maybe it didn't fit down this part. But looks like that shrub doesn't really extend as far as this piece of land. So unfortunate, but he's able to close out the game after that beginning kind of sequence of moves that wasn't ideal. Let's go back and see. So early game, yeah, having a spear here. I think maybe treeing instead was probably a fine play. Again, restricting his movement. He's still in the Mac-Air, but he's probably going to just detower himself. He might not, but it just kind of limits his movement again. He wants to be able to move around. So that'd be my main change in this game. And of course hitting the SV. So those two things. And then we rematched. So he gets the victory here. And then we were actually able to run it back. And this was pretty interesting of a game. This is a longer one. So grab your favorite snack. Favorite drink. Just chill out. Yeah, that's a lot of turns. This is a nice move. I was thinking that he is unable to tower. I was like, oh, this is great. He can't tower here. Then he Mac-Airs, and I'm like, oh, shit. That sucks. But I still think it's a good play. Here, once again, I'm thinking, tree his head. Seems like a great move. Because although he... does he have flash? I don't think he does. I think it's just whip. So yeah, rather than pebble, knowing that he's going to bridge... again, this is a move that I saw. But yeah, honestly, really, it's just like at turn 2. Tree that instead of pebble. I don't need to be rushing. I did swap boar and spear for pebble DK. So just tweaked a few spells. But well, yeah, once again, just turn 2 almost. This is how early you can blunder your game. But it's not over, you know. But it just really scuffs the early game for me. I can't now detower that sanctuary very easily. Actually, I brought pebble, so I can. But it still keeps me down a tempo. Because now he's going to whip me off. Yeah. So the trade isn't great. So I teleport back in. This whip angle's not really possible. I did know that he could escape. But he is going to bridge me. Okay, he bridges to set up elves. And now I have to go for something crazy or teleport to the side. Shock bomb here, I think, would kill him. And again, it just forces you into so many risky shock bombs. Look at that one that I had to hit. And hope that it still kills this elf over here. Let me try and pause. Look at that. It barely hits it. It's like at the very edge of the hitbox. Just insane. But the fact I'm hitting all these shock bombs is pretty great. But I did, of course, miss one in that first game. So yeah, in that sense, Jefferson, I think 2 elves is very oppressive. If you don't have, you know, something to deal with both of them, it's just so hard. But there is a general strategy to trap full nature. Just like continually trap it with ice shield and, you know, tree, mud ball, spam, also things like that. I was thinking about a shock bomb, but I was a little bit too scared. It just seems kind of tricky to get the stick. And okay, I get it, but I don't know if that sinks. So And it's also going to TK me. Yeah, it doesn't, so I decided to just flash instead. And that's the better move, for sure. If you're in the chat, you haven't said hi. Always love to hear from people. And if you don't want to say hi and you're just more introverted, just chilling, that's also fantastic too. I don't really interact too much with streamers, but being a streamer myself now, I'm thinking, oh, that would be awesome to, you know, hear from, to be a streamer, hearing from your chat. So I try to interact more now that I have got into the hobby. But yeah, so I am able to trap him with DK. Or am I? I thought, oh, great, he can't tower. But then he fucking Mac airs, man. He Mac airs, he's able to fit that. Like, I did not see that coming. It's just tragic. So now I'm thinking, okay, what could I have done instead to trap him? Better, right? Let's figure this out together. Okay, so I flighted, whatever. We're gonna flight. He can go down to create more space to tower. Okay, so I know that much. Now, if I prevent him from being able to go down, maybe with an ice shield, does it reach? Okay, it doesn't. So maybe what I want to BFTP first, and then ice shield next, and then DK above me. Is that the play? Because he doesn't have BFTP, remember this. So let's try this one more time. Okay. BFTP. Okay, ice shield. Okay, works well enough. And then DK. Okay, I have the boar book, but you know, pretend this is DK. DK then. So, what is he doing with full nature? I don't know. Like, you know, BFTP he doesn't have. He's stuck. He's got to what? Whip down? Vine whip down and be down here. And then I just tree him. And I just keep him down at the bottom of the map, unable to summon elves. Gain a massive minion advantage and just play the game slow. Or if I can get a nice angle on the DK charge downward and then just trap him inside the DK. But I have to make sure that he's... he could also potentially just jump out of that DK charge as well. If you get DK charge and you end up inside the DK, if you don't move at all, you can just jump out. High jump out. So I need to be aware of that too. But basically, this would be a better line. He's completely stuck. He's got nowhere he can go. Nothing he can do. Pure Extreme, you can use add spell name to add a spell to your book. Ah, yeah, I remember that. I don't quite remember the command. I think it was like... you do the period after in between, like this. Oh yeah, okay. See, I had messed with it in the past and tried to do like add with the period first and screwed it up. But yeah. Okay, so thanks for that. So yeah, add spell name. Okay, so I'll do it again. Okay. So I would just... Oh, I need to do it for him. So that would be what? P2? Or add? Is that how this would work? I don't know if that worked. Oh, it gave him 2 of them. Oh, so I'm not sure what I did wrong there. Am I P1 maybe? Add P1. Oh. It defaults to the player 1. Oh, I see, I see. So would I need to then put P2, or how would the command look to add it? Oh, P2 first. I see. Oh, okay. So P2 first was the thing that I didn't do quite right. Okay, so that's the idea. Thanks for the help, Pure. He's trapped. He can't go anywhere. He's got no VFTP. Mac Air on CD. Sanctuary, of course, available, but no space. You know, he has to Vine Whip down. And then it's a whole different game. I've got extreme map control. I am the superior being in this position. So, anyway, that's the idea. As it stands, I summoned it on the bottom. Really tragic. And he's able to Mac Air, and I just was crushed. I was like, what is this? That's some BS. I could have flashed the man trap off. I could have DK'd him there as well. That would have been a fine play. Yeah, a couple of different plays. But he is able to Sanctuary out now. And it's really unfortunate for me because the double tower, Sanctuary and Mac Air, really tough to see. You hate to see it. But I brought Pebbles for that reason. It does just help to free him, though. That's the main thing that the Sanctuary benefits for him. And so what basically ends up happening is now my DK is stuck. And we'll fast forward a bit here. So I don't really get the chance to pressure him. He gets the Wrath off. He flurries me out of a tower. And now I'm stuck on this right side of the map. So I end up, I think, going side. Okay, no. I just run away. And he ends up Mac Airing on the side here, right? And then I tree him in so that he's trapped. That's the idea. And yeah, now he's zoning me far to the right of this map here. And I'm just trying to position around Sanctuary. If he somehow gets over, it'll be difficult for him to cast Sank because of the Swarm Aura and also trying to angle a jump. You know, like here to Sanctuary. This would be probably where it's possible to Sanctuary, but it's almost impossible for him to get there. Try to make it as hard as possible, so I think I was successful in that. And he's just trapped there for several turns, which is great. And then I start flashing out the bottom of the map. The idea behind this is that he can't bring his elves down, or if he does, they're very easily sinkable. And it's hard for him to maneuver his elves onto me, especially not to mention that I'm in flight, to flurry me. So just makes moving ground minions all the more difficult. And as he's digging, he does kill several of his elves in the process. There's one elf that dies, and so now he's got 3. And then as he continues to dig... okay, let's back up a little bit. There is a pivotal point in the game that I can show. As he continues to dig, I was going to say that he just, you know, kills off one too many of his elves to really be too threatening. I do get this Undead Pegasus and a couple swarms out, so I just want to free it pretty much immediately. And then he does kill another elf with the volley. And I flashed this out, but unfortunately I didn't anticipate for the fact that the AoE does a lot of terrain destruction here. And he's able to get to me and then sink me with the flurry. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but that's not the most ideal. So I could have just ran away, you know, and let the volley kill the thorns and then see what he would have done in response. But instead I did a little bit more of a risky play. This isn't one that, you know, loses me the game or anything, but it does put me in a more difficult spot. So, okay, he sinks me, and I go to the other side. And I think this is where I wanted to show the Wrath tech that I could have done. Won this game a lot earlier with that. This forestation to control the swarm was a nice move. You might think, okay, I could go down and then shock bomb, but I don't want to get down in here and, you know, be vulnerable to the elf again, because he's got Vine Bridge to bring the elf up. So I can't really go up there safely. I don't have a BFTP either to BFTP this elf down and then shock bomb all three. So I decided to just shock shield first. And okay, this is where I wanted to show you guys what a play here might be. So, okay, actually I treat immediately, but let me try to take control after he wraths here. So he wraths me on the side, and he keeps me down on the side as a result. Okay, so he's gonna wrath. Wait, machine is playing, so it defaults to him. So add. Okay, cool. Did that right this time. Let me take the menu off. So he wraths like right about here. So what he told me after the game, this is sick. You can get up this. You go in the middle, right in the middle, and then you flight. And you can just go up from up to the right and then flip. So shift, F, shift, F, shift, F, shift, F, shift. You just do this all the way up. And you're right in the middle of it, so it doesn't push you either way. And I didn't test it if I try to not flip. So that would be an easy way to just win the game outright. I SS one of the elves and double SB both of these for a huge lead. But yeah, if I don't, let's just queue a bit. So if I don't do the shift, the F flopping, then when I try to go back, I'm stuck. At a certain point though, if you're high enough, you can actually just spam shift, you know, and you just kind of bang your head against the wall, that land there, as you go up. But if you're too low and you try to do that, you just end up banging your head against the wall, and you don't get any vertical movement. But if you're like right about here, you do get some vertical movement. So anyway, that's the idea. And then, you know, by extension, if I'm too far to the left of the wrath, look at how I'm stuck. I'm trying to move X, and look, it keeps pushing me back. But you do that little shift movement, you know, up, down, and it works pretty well. So that was an awesome play that he pointed out to me. I did not know about it. I didn't see it in the game, so obviously we will see how it develops. It's far from over. And basically for the next several turns, he's trying to push to get down to me. He wants to get his elves to me. And I see that that's potentially possible with the combination of Vine Bridge and laddering with the Mac Air to bring his elves up, over, and then to flurry me. So with the Wrath on the side, I don't know if you guys know, but you can take an elf and you just walk it down, and then it drops and it is pushed to the right side. So even with water down here, I would be fine. Or I wouldn't be fine. I would still be in danger because the elf is pushed to the right as it falls, and it ends up basically falling on my head if I were teleported right there. So for the next several turns, we're in a bit of a deadlock. He thorn bombs several times. He misses a couple of them. This one was slightly off. It bounced. And so that wasn't the best thorns. He would have liked to have it like here to the right. So that was unfortunate by him. But he is still trying to get to me. You know, he's able to clear out this area on the right. And okay, he thorn bombs once again. And oh, I tried for something pretty sick here. Almost got it off, but not quite. And I had the draw up, and then I canceled it because I saw this play. That would have been so sick to be able to get that off. But this might be a worthy upload, to be honest. Separately make a commentary of this, just because of the plays that were made. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, it was that turn. Dang it. I went too far. Bear with me. I'll back up just one more turn here. And basically what I was trying to do is get this pebble and move him far enough to sink him. And so, yeah, I'm coming all the way up here to basically pebble him off. Just need to add it to my book. Okay. So, I was thinking maybe I could get this done. I of course removed my draw, and then he spammed it a bit. But this is the idea. But I just didn't quite get... I need to be like under him, I think, more. That's probably what needs to change. Like vault him into the air, super high. Like not even be on the left side of him, but actually go under his tower and try it. So, let's see. Go one more turn. And then should be able to get the pebble sink off, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to just do our best. Okay. So let's try it. My idea was to, like I said, launch him far enough to get to the thorns. Of course, on the side it doesn't work, so maybe I was thinking, you know, vault him upward like this with pebble. Not sure if this will work or not, but you basically want to aim, for you guys who don't know, toward the center of the player. And if you're from the side, you want to account somewhat for the fact that the player will fall out of their tower once they're detowered. So if you aim toward the head, for example, on the side here, once Machine falls out of their tower, he's going to fall, you know, obviously he's in the air, so it's different, but imagine there was ground here. Machine's going to fall down, and his player's going to be here instead of here, and you're going to miss a lot of your pebbles. So that's the idea behind aiming that. Let's try this. Maybe something like that. That was a better attempt. I just missed a pebble there. Maybe one more pebble would have been good. But he does take quite a bit of damage, so now it's a whole new game. After he gets volleyed by his own elves. That would have been a sick play, though, to pull off. Live on stream. So dope. Now 9 viewers. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please drop a like. Really helps me. And just double check that you're subscribed. And say hi in the chat if you haven't yet. Or like I mentioned before, don't say hi. Just enjoy the vibes. We are watching a long game versus 3-plate bench. I played 2 games. And cluttered. Good to see you, man. We're just going over some 60G VODs. This is the last game that I'll probably review for today. Just a bit of a shorter stream, but just wanted to VOD review my 60Gs. My last 10 or so. So yeah, looking pretty good here now. I just decide to position myself, I would say pretty well, over here on the left side of the map. Kind of subtle, but again, he doesn't have a lot of mobility. He does have Vine Bridge, but I don't know exactly how many he has left at this point. And you can tell he's doing that shuffle. He's lost, or he thinks he's lost. But he is still able to survive, so I'm curious. I don't remember what exactly he goes for. Of course, if he has another tower, he would want to use it, but I have Pebble, so I think I just pebbled him out of his sanctuary, and he's probably out of Mac Airs, if not already. Oh, the 4 bounce. Yeah. If you're watching the stream and you haven't seen my recent 7 Grassy upload from yesterday, give it a watch, man. It was crazy. It's a super short vid, just like 9 minutes, and there was a sick ice bomb. And actually a couple ice bombs, but one of them was just absolutely disgusting. That's what Clutter's referring to there in the chat. It was ridiculous. You don't hit those often. Yeah, I'm doing really well, man. Just chilling, enjoying some VOD review before I'm going to watch the NBA Finals, Conference Finals, Game 7 later. But just wasn't up to too much today, so thought I'd hop on stream, do some VOD review. Also, it's a great way to improve, as Oa was saying in the chat earlier. I'll be able to really improve my play quickly and get unrusted, so to speak. Okay, so he goes for the fusion, and this becomes somewhat of a long grind, but it's so tempting to like try to get down there or like lob something. But who's my all-time favorite NBA player and team? Well, I've been a Jazz fan for a lot of my life. They were pretty solid when Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were on the team, but they couldn't really get past the conference finals at all. They just kept getting eliminated in the second round. So I would say favorite team is probably Jazz still, even though they're just ass right now for the past several years. Okay, yeah, unfortunate Pebble there. I just don't have really much that I can do. Prot is better, though, just to build a bit more of a safe, some defense, a safe advantage. Because I gotta realize he can't do much, you know, in this situation. All-time favorite player, probably Kevin Love, yeah, or LaMarcus Aldridge. So people that I kind of, and I'm not in any way saying that I'm NBA talent, because I'm not, but people that I kind of model my game after, or who I would like to be like if I were in the NBA, are those big men who are, you know, kind of shooters. And Kevin Love's pretty big, but like I'm a thinner guy as well. But yeah, just kind of the silky mid-range play style. Kevin Love in particular is a pretty strong three-point shooter as well. And just got a really great arsenal of post moves and also a three-point shot. Also, Kevin Love in particular is open about his mental health struggles, which is, I think, admirable. DeMar DeRozan, also one of my favorite players for that reason too. And just because, like, guys that are in the NBA and just, like, you know, carve out a niche, they have, like, such a clear role, like defense or mid-range or threes or, you know, rebounder, and they're just able to kind of, you know, earn their keep just sticking to that role is pretty awesome. Of course, DeMar is a pretty awesome all-around player. Getting a bit older now, but his mid-range game is just super smooth. And also, like I said, open about mental health, things like that. So, do you have any favorites, Oa? Or do you not follow basketball as much? So yeah, this is going to be back and forth. I won't go through, I guess, the entire game. But basically, he's able to get the flurry off, damage me a bit. And I'm trying to get down there, but it's just so tricky with these pixels. And I actually almost sink myself on several occasions. Like, if you try to lob a shock bomb down here, you know, through the Wrath, it's going to launch way far. Go crazy. And so he's just going to be chilling there. He can't really leave this area around the Wrath. Otherwise, I threaten shock bombs, shock shield. Okay, this is a great turn here. Again, I can't really lob. It's not going to be great. Just because it's going to launch, you know, drastically increase the velocity of the shock bomb. But I could still go for like a shield, a shock shield. Oh, I actually have a flash sync. Okay, this was pretty pivotal, for sure. This is a great play. So I flash sync him, and also notably get that ice shield there to trap his elf. So that was clutch. And he teleports in. Once again, I can't really do much. Oh, heck yeah. Ron Artest, Malice at the Palace. Yeah, Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. That guy is quite the player. I enjoyed watching him as well. Doesn't really align with my own sort of personality. He's much different on that front. I'm a lot more chill. But yeah, he's a great player. So yeah, you can see this is very tricky to like, I can't get any lobs off or anything. And so we just kind of go back and forth. I'm able to get actually back over. I went around the Wrath, walked on the Ice Shield. You can walk through Wrath, right? And then I jumped, made it over to here to the Pebble. So I'm applying some good pressure. And he's just going to try to keep going with the fusion, get some healing. But I again escape. Okay, what am I going to do here? Anything crazy? This is where I SS to just threaten some nice damage. And I believe, I don't know if his Sanctuary is up or not, but I tried to burn the SS when his Sanctuary was not up. And then he sinks himself. Okay, he sinks himself, and yet, look at this. Can't get over. Can't get over. You're saying, oh, well, jump. Jump, Co-Evil. Jump, Co-Val. Well, this is not going to work. Look. And then, oh! Oh! Machine also does this at one point in the game. Hit that little pixel there. Barely don't sink myself. I think I do it twice. Oh, God. I was so stressed on stream trying to execute this. I try again, even. Come on. Oh, look again. The same spot. Just barely. It's just nuts. Really crazy. So I'm going to try what? Once again? What do I end up doing? Oh, I just Q here with the pebbles. Not going to work. Maybe I had to alt them. I don't know if I did or not. But what do I do instead? Not so sure. It's tricky. Potentially just teleport on this side. Could be fine. So that's just an option. But I'm still okay. Okay, he's giving me the teleport regardless. But if I don't allow this whip sync, I still keep my SS, so that would have been nice. But I don't keep the SS. I allow the sync, because I got ticked by my own pebbles. And okay, he goes for the flight prot. And here I was just thinking, just kind of be careful with your movement, but go through and sync him, you know. Flash sync alt. Should be able to clinch the game. But I wasn't exactly sure how I could clinch it here. Because even this teleport spot, I don't think I can beat him. Because what do I do, you know? What do I lob here? I've got Drain Bolt. Ever since I think at one point mentioned, can you try to, you know, mount your peg and Shock Bomb lob? But the peg just doesn't get quite close enough, right? I can't get there. He was thinking like mount the peg and then Shock Bomb Sui on here. But I'm just not, I just can't get there. It's a nice idea though. So what I decide to do this turn is, it's escaping me, so I'll have to wait for it to load and see what I end up trying. $39 health though, you'd think, oh, like it's game over, but he teleports in his Wrath. Makes it a lot trickier. Okay, I went for a Pebble, and it's very risky. The Pebbles actually launch upward, so not great. If I want to try that again, and add Pebble Shot. Oh, did that work? Maybe not. I'll just get the standard book. Let's see, where is it? Pebble. Okay, yeah, so what I was saying was the Pebble basically, it will, you know, vault upward. It won't go in a straight line if you're trying to aim it through the oh yeah, That's my mistake. I put the dot there. Good catch, Pure. Thanks. But yeah, those are very tricky to aim. And if I try to do it, like, you know, straight on even. You see that? See how they're all just gonna kind of like whoop, go up? So I have to even, I don't know, maybe it's possible, but I'd have to like aim lower and account for the lob, the upward trajectory or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, that takes some math. I'm not sure if something like this would even work. Imagine like hitting this and then the pebbles all curve into him and they all hit for the win. That'd just be disgusting. Oh, and this almost does it. Oh, that would be... Imagine, I'd never seen anything like that. To be able to account for the change in the trajectory of the pebbles and know that beforehand. Oh, that would be nasty. So anyway, I wasn't able to get that pebble off, unfortunately. And it's really getting spicy here now. We're both super low. He's at 39 still. And, you know, he's got, I think, probably one tower at this point to cycle through. His Mac Airs are gone. So it's like, what's he going to do? What does he have? Okay, he's got his towers, as I was saying. He's cycling through. But I'm able to walk on it. And, oh, almost sink myself again. I had a heart attack right there. One of many. So, okay, finally get the movement right. Can't do much with the pegs at all. Don't want to just be sinkable, so that's the only thing to keep in mind. And almost sink him there. Get him down to 34. What's he do here? Okay, he goes for the man trap sink. And feeling pretty good here now that he's at 34. And he can't get back on his Wrath too easily. Because once again, he's at this left side. And like I said before, Machine is at some point going to try that jump. And again, he falls exactly on that same pixel that I did. So getting him on the left side was my idea. Because it's impossible to get past the Wrath to the right. If I had him on the right side, he could walk over and maybe put something here to, you know, prevent me from getting past the Wrath, or I don't know what exactly he could do. Like maybe a bridge if he had him. But so he sinks himself there again. And I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? I'm actually stuck. But I have 2 Pegasus to get through. And hopefully if I can make it all the way over there, you know, if I lob the drain, there's a very good chance that it loses velocity and it curls up. So I got to get as close as possible. I've got 2 pegs to do it. And I'm too far and I sink the first one. So this is all I have left to clinch the victory. 1 more peg. I got to be very careful with the movement here. And we see that I can execute the first one, I think. Okay, I didn't quite get the movement right there. Okay, there we go. Just a slightly lower. Okay, barely under this portion here. And then I hit this land here. Again, I've got a couple of spots where I can go down, move the Pegasus down. But then I get stuck on this, and then I move down onto this land here. And I'm able to alt extend the Drain Bolt to win the game. Just an insane back and forth yesterday in our match. But yeah, this was all I had planned for today, just to go through these 10 games, and I'll experiment a bit more with the books that I ran. I think I like the Seasons one, and also the Boar SB without DK. It's good, but it just didn't work against Full Nature. But I think, you know, like otherwise, it's a pretty solid book. So yeah, particularly the Seasons one, I think I can, you know, do a bit better with it if I just keep in mind some of the different kind of mechanics that you can do with like the Flutter for the Monarch, and you know, the fact that Acorn spawns a tree and you don't want to block your own minions off, all that type of stuff. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in for this VOD review, and I'm not sure exactly when I'll stream next, but probably sometime next week, during the week, in the evening. So hope to catch you guys soon, and have a great day.